Good morning, class. Standard 9 and 10 history. Today, chapter is chapter 3, first phase of the Indian national movement 1885 to 1905. That is moderates. Moderate means early nationalist. In that, there is a divide of two more parts, that is era of assertive nationalism, that is means extremist aggressive leaders, normally called aggressive leader. The next chapter is coming Gandhian era, that is 1919 to 1947 is called Gandhian era. The first phase is the early nationalists, that is the moderates. For a few years the Congress enjoyed the patronage of the British administrators between 1885 to 1905. The Congress leaders were moderates. They had faith in the British justice and goodwill. They were called moderates because they adopted peaceful and constitutional means to achieve their demands. The great moderate leaders were A.O. Hume, W.C. Banerjee, Surendranath Banerjee, Dadabhai Naoroji, Feroz Mehta, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, Badruddin Tyabji, Justice Ranade, and G. Subramania Iyer. Surendranath Banerjee was called the Indian Brooke, normally called Indian ambassador, unofficial ambassador. He firmly opposed the partition of Bengal. He founded the Indian National Associations 1876 to agitate for the political reforms. He had convened the Indian National Conference 1883, which merged with the Indian National Congress in 1886. Subramania Iyer preached nationalism through the Madras Mahajana Sabha. He also founded the Hindu and Sudeshimitran. Dadabhai Naoroji was known as the Grand Old Man of India. He is regarded as India's unofficial ambassador in England. He was the first Indian to become a member of the British House of Commons. Gopal Krishna Gokhale was regarded as a political guru of Gandhi. In 1905, he founded the Servants of Indian Society to train Indians to dedicate their lives to the cause of the country. That means the Gopal Krishna Gokhale is a political guru to Gandhi. Once Gandhiji was practicing as a lawyer in South Africa. The Gopala Krishna Gokhale went to South Africa and requested Gandhiji, please come to India and join for Indian independence. So the Gandhi agreed that. Then he left the South Africa and came to India from 1919 till independence. Gandhiji was the leader and brought independence to India. Next, the moderate objectives. What are the objectives? Awaken public opinion, arouse political consciousness, educate Indians on common issues, create British opinion in favor of grievances of Indians, establish self-government. These are the method that adopted. So educated the Indians, every corner they will entered and give the education to them. Now, main demands of the moderate. What is the demand of the moderates? Expansion and the reform of legislative councils, greater opportunity for Indians in higher posts by holding the ICS, that is Indian Civil Service, examinations simultaneously in England and in India, separation of the judiciary from the executive. That in previous it was the executive control the judiciary. Suppose any person is arrested, then he is he is British collector. He will order him, put him in jail, don't give any bail or something. The executives, any politicals, executives are giving pressure to the judiciary to do whatever the executive tells the judiciary system to follow. That is not independent like today. Independence, you have Supreme Court, High Court, subordinate court, all independence. Those days they controlled by the executives like Viceroy, Governor General, whoever is administrating the district or any states. Those people, if you tell me, that's all fine. Judiciary also follow that. They demand judiciary is different, executive is different. More powers for the local bodies, reduction in the land revenue and protection of peasants from unjust landlords, abolition of salt tax and sugar duty, freedom of speech and expression and to form associations, reduction of spending on army. Later, the moderates started talking of Swaraj, but under the British umbrella. They have some belief on the Britishers also. At the same time, they demand also kept in front of the Britishers. So let's see beliefs. What is the belief? The moderate had full faith in the British sense of justice and fair play. They felt that the moment the British understood the problems of the Indians, they would solve them. They just wanted to end certain reforms. They even felt that the Indians had benefited from the British administration in the form of introduction of English and modern means of transport and communications. These are the beliefs they had. Now the methods of the moderates. Early moderates looked to England for inspiration and guidance. The moderate used to discussions, petition, resolutions, meetings, leaflets and pamphlets, memoranda and delegation to present their demands. They confined their political activities to the educated classes only. Their aim was to attain political rights and self-government in stages. Each and everything they explained to the Indian people, to advise the Indian people. They don't know those people, those days not educated, much educated Indians. There are very few. So they are trying to educate the Indian people. What is your political rights? What is your fundamental rights? About that. They used only constitutional methods, distributed written materials, even went to England and met British politicians to tell them their point of view. They went to England and told about Indians are treated by you like a slave. Next, achievements of the moderates. What are the achievements that they made? The moderates were able to create a wide national awakening among the people. The moderates managed to give a strong base to the national movement. They managed to popularize the ideas of democracy, civil liberties, and representative institutions. They shaped public opinion on various matters. They used to tell what government is doing. They taken public opinion also. They had spread the message to public and get the opinion from them. They were successful in explaining how the British were exploiting Indians in the form of salaries to British officials, savings and pensions of Britishers, payment to the British troops in India, and profit of the British companies. The British government was forced to appoint the Welby Commission on Indian Expenditure with Dadabhai Naoroji as the first Indian as its member to inquire into the matter. Some moderate like Mahadev Govind Ranade and Gopal Krishna Gokhale favored social reforms. The moderate also believed in supporting social reforms. They spoke against the caste system, child marriage, and supported the widow remarriage. The moderate succeeded in getting the expansion of the legislative councils by the Indian Councils Act of 1892. Now, Indian Council Act 1892, what is in that? The Indian Councils Act 1892 was the first achievement of the Indian National Congress. It increased the number of additional members in the Central Legislative Council. It had also increased the proportion of the non-officials. The members were allowed to discuss the budget and criticize the financial policy of the government. The budget could not be voted upon, nor could amendment to be made it. In the provinces also number of additional members was increased with additional powers. Now, program of the moderates. What is their program to achieve their freedom struggles? The program was the political program or constitutional reforms, administrative reforms, military reforms, economic reforms, program related to civil rights and liberties. These are five moderate program. They made it. Constitutional reform. First we will see constitutional reforms. Abolish the Indian Council, which prevented initiating liberal policies in India. Educate representation of Indians in legislature. Budget to be referred to the legislature, which should have the right to discuss and vote on it. Swaraj within the British Empire. So, like any budget sessions, the Indians are not allowed to discuss. Now today, as our parliament, there is a time is the discussion about the any policy making business. That every member have right to talk. But those days, the British is not allowed to talk any matters on parliament in Indians. Increase in the powers of local bodies and reducing British control. Improvement in the police system. Civil service examinations to be conducted both in India and London, and raising the age limits for appearing in such examinations from 19 to 23 years. Separation of judiciary from the executive. Extension of trial by jury, repeal of Arms Act, and campaign against exploitation of the industrial labor at the Assam Tea Gardens. Increase in expenditure on welfare, education, irrigation, works and improvement of agriculture. Better treatment for Indian labor abroad in the other British colonies, which faced oppression oppression and racial discriminations there. The racial color matter is coming. White, you are a block. Like color discrimination have been done. No, economic reforms. The moderates wanted to change in economic policies. Their recommendation included reduction of expenditures and taxes, reallocation of military charges to protectionist policy to protect Indian industries, abolition of salt tax, reduction in land revenue, extension of permanent settlement to Raitwari and Mahalwari areas, encouragement to cottage industry and handicrafts, encouragement to modern industry through tariff protection and direct government aid. Moderate offered an economic critique of colonialism. They took note of all the three reforms of contemporary colonial economic exploitation through trade, industry, and finance. They complained of the Indians' growing poverty and economic backwardness and the failure of modern industry and agriculture to grow and blamed it on British economic exploitations. They looted everything, they brought in British machine to India. Indian industry completely destroyed by the Britishers. India is always making man-made, but Britishers brought in the machine. The everything is where is the 100 people work, only 10 people can work in that industries. What about the 90 people who goes? That's why the Indian history become totally failed due to modern equipment they brought from the England. Next, military reforms. Evenly sharing of the military expenditures by the British government. Indians should be taken into army as volunteers and should be appointed in a higher ranks. Previous it was, we have seen the first war of independence. They given rank up to Subedar. Any above officers all belongs to Europeans or British officers. Indians are not allowed to go higher ranks. The criticism of an aggressive foreign policy which resulted in annexation of Burma, attack on Afghanistan, and superstition of tribals in the northwest. These are the military reforms they demanded. Next, civil rights and liberties. What is a civil right? Civil right means already you have seen the constitutions. Free to speak, free to express yourself. So likewise. What is the civil rights and liberties? The moderate demanded the following rights and liberties for the Indians. The freedom of speech, the press, thought and association. They put up the strong defense of these civil rights whenever the government tried to curtail them. Their struggle for democratic freedoms become an integral part of the nationalist struggle for freedom. The government arrested Tilak and several other leaders for spreading disaffection against the government. The entire country protested against this attack on the liberties of the people. The repeal of the Preventive Detention Acts and the restoration of civil liberties. These are the civil rights. They cannot speak, they cannot express themselves, there is no right to talk after our Prevention Detention Act. Without any reason, they'll arrest the people and keep in jail without any reasons. Next, prominent moderate leaders. One is Dadabhai Naoroji. Second one, Surendranath Banerjee. Third one, the Gopal Krishna Gokhale. The first we'll talk about Dadabhai Naoroji, 1825 to 1917. He founded a fortnightly publication, the Raster Gofar, Rastgoftar, the Rast Gofar Copter, meaning the truth teller. In 1853, to explain the Zoroastrian concept to the common man, he formed the East India Association in London in 1866 to let the British in England know the plight of the Indians under the British rule. He was the first Asian to be elected to the British House of Commons and was its member from 1892 to 1895. He used all possible opportunities to bring around measures for the welfare of the Indians. He was often called an official ambassador of India. He is also referred to as a grand old man of India. He was instrumental in founding the Indian National Congress. It was through his efforts that the British House of Commons passed a resolution on holding Indian civil service examinations simultaneously both in India and England. He was elected the President of Indian National Congress in 1886. He was the President of the Congress thrice. Under his presidency in 1906, the Congress passed the resolution of Swadeshi, Swaraj, boycott, and national education was being drained. In his book Poverty and the Un-British Rule in India, Dadabhai Naoroji explained his drain theory, how all the wealth was being drained away from India in the form of profits, salaries, pensions, and savings. That's why he was told that the British looted India everywhere, nothing left, all the sources of income, everything looted to the London. He spearheaded India's freedom struggle by giving speeches and writing articles on the exploitation of the India by the British. He also started a magazine, a Dharma Mark Darshak. This is the magazine he started. Next, we will talk about Surendranath Banerjee, 1848 to 1925. He formed the Indian Association in 1876. Later, he formed the Indian National Conference in 1883, which merged with the Indian National Congress. He was a leader of the moderate through the paper Bengali. He spread his views. He wrote a book, A Nation in Making, in which he wrote his views about self-government. He firmly opposed the partition of Bengal. He was an important figure in the Swadeshi movement and advocated the manufacture of goods in India against foreign products. He openly stressed the use of Swadeshi goods and constitutional methods to deal with the British. He supported representative institutions. He believed in opposition where necessary and cooperation where possible. He cleared the Indian Civil Service examination in 1869 but was barred owing to a dispute over his exact age. Banerjee cleared the exam again in 1871 and was posted as assistant magistrate in Sylhet. The Sylhet is now in Pakistan. However, Banerjee was dismissed soon from his job owing to racial discriminations. Banerjee went to England to protest this decision but was unsuccessful. During the 1 year stay in England, he studied the works of Edmund Burke and other liberal philosophers. These works guided him in his protest against the British. He was known as the Indian Burke. Banerjee supported the Morley Minto reforms of 1909, which were resented, ridiculed as insufficient and meaningless by the vast majority of the Indian public and nationalist politicians. Banerjee was a critic of the proposed method of civil disobedience advocated by the Mahatma Gandhi. Next, we'll talk about Gopal Krishna Gokhale, 1866 to 1915. He is often called the political guru of Gandhiji. Gokhale was a mentor to Mahatma Gandhi in his formative years. In 1912, Gokhale visited South Africa at Gandhi's invitation as a young barrister. Gandhiji returned from his struggle against the empire in South Africa and received personal guidance from Gokhale, including knowledge about the understanding of India and the issues confronting common Indians. He was a moderate with the faith in the British sense of justice. He was awarded the title of Companion of the Indian Empire. He stressed the need of separation of executive from the judiciary. As a member of Central Legislative Assembly, he moved a resolution for reduction of excise duties, relief to the bonded labor in Natal, South Africa, and revival of the village panchayat. He wanted to work for betterment of Indian peasants, Indian farmers. His efforts led to the reduction in toll tax. In 1905, Gopal Krishna Gokhale became president of the Indian National Congress. He founded the Servants of Indian Society, to take up the cause of expansion of Indian education. He was instrumental in bringing the Minto-Morley reforms of 1909. He stressed on training Indians to dedicate their lives to the cause of the country in the religious spirit and to promote national interest. He advocated to use constitutional means to achieve nationalist end. Gokhale died on 19th February 1915 at an early age of 49. Balaganga Tilak, his lifelong political opponent, said at his funeral, "This diamond of India, this jewel of Maharashtra, this prince of workers in the taking eternal rest on funeral ground. look at him and try to emulate him. This is the Balaganga Tilak said when he is attending the funeral of Balaganga Tilak. Now this is a timeline of events when it has happened. Formation of Indian National Congress, that is 1885. Next, the passing of Indian Councils Act 1892. Lord Curzon as a Viceroy of India appointed in 1899. Next, after Lord Curzon came, the partition of Bengal is happened in 1905. This next chapter is the aggressive nationalist subject is there. Chapter 4 will to be continue on this. So this is the early nationalist methods, their belief, their objectives, their reforms, constitutional reforms, military reforms, economic reforms, social reforms. You have to learn for your examinations. Good morning class, stay safe, stay home.